listening to the Scoop Slam Podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Scoop Slam Podcast. We are back. Big show, lots of things to talk about. Couple big weekends back to back in wrestling. Not only that, college football is back. NFL started tonight, so huge things happening this fall, but good things are happening in both companies and in sports. So we're here to break it all down. We're probably not going to get any football talk today other than, the tide keeps rolling on because we got AEW All In to talk about. We got WWE Bash in Berlin to talk about. Two huge foreign pay-per-views. We're going to break them all down. As always, the guy on the other end of the call, historian of the Scoop Slam Podcast, co-pilot seat, it's Ryan.
Yes, man, just ready to talk about some real graps, Micah. Great to be back here with you. We got a loaded show, man. Hopefully we can keep it tight.
Yeah, we're going to try. So let's go ahead and get into it because I know everybody's waiting to hear our reaction on the huge AEW pay-per-view, their biggest show of the year. And they started that off with Mariah May versus Toni Storm.
Was that match one?
Yeah, I thought so. Did I miss something?
You did. You missed the ladder match.
What ladder match?
There was a London ladder match, man. You didn't catch that.
No.
Okay.
Huh?
All right. Yeah, London ladder match. There was the BCC. Was the gun? I think the guns were in the. Yeah, you didn't catch that.
No, my
okay.
My definitely Bleacher Report.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't grab that one. What happened? Because was it good?
I think Pac took Moxley's place for some reason in the BCC, and I think they won here. The BCC, their new trios. You didn't see this, really?
No, I really did not see this at all. I thought Mariah May versus Toni Storm was the first match. Like on my notes, that's first.
No, not at all. Not at all. It was the London ladder match. I don't know if you have it pulled up, but yeah, the BCC were in it. The Guns, I think, and hopefully you have it pulled up now that I've been buying us some time.
Yeah, so apparently we're off to a rousing start here, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
I did not see this match, but you were correct. A London ladder match, which involved, as you mentioned, the BCC with Pac, the Patriarchy with Christian Cage, Killswitch, and Nick Wayne, the Bang Bang Gang, and House of Black.
Yeah.
A lot
going on. Yeah, a lot going on. How many teams is that? That's what, 4?
4, yeah.
It was 4 3-way teams. So it was 12 guys in this match.
I saw somebody counted that it was either like 64 or 84 talents were on this show.
Yeah, pretty much half the roster.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's good.
Shout out to them.
Nothing memorable from this match, I'm assuming.
Claudio graduated from the work rate ladder matches that he used to have at WrestleMania, and now he's part of the work rate matches that you have at every AEW pay-per-view. So, congrats, Claudio. Hope you got what you wanted.
Okay, well,
yeah.
I think that's the best we can do to keep it short and sweet. We're under 4 minutes, and we already got a match down. Second on the card, apparently, news to me, was Mariah May versus Toni Storm for the AEW Women's Championship. And got a lot of thoughts about this. We can just kind of ping pong back and forth, I reckon. I have to say, while Toni hasn't been my favorite women's wrestler or just character, I guess, I think that this story between these two has been good for the most part since the Mariah May turn. I did like the beatdown, the closing angle where she left her all bloodied. However, I assume that you probably did not.
Not at all. Nah, bro. I'm not a big fan of the women blading. I don't know. Just I'm old school, man. I don't want to see that.
Oh, it was. I mean, it was probably the most brutal beatdown that I can remember in terms of just like how graphic it was. Probably since MJF left Punk all bloody that time, right before Revolution.
What's up with all these guys and girls licking blood on that television show? Because it
Yeah.
happened when MJF kissed Daniel Garcia and then licked his blood. Was that Wednesday?
Oh,
I
see,
don't know
I
if you
didn't
saw
see
that
all
angle.
that.
Oh well, it happened. You don't have to see it. It happened.
No, I only saw the greatest angle of the year with Hangman Adam Page and Swerve.
Wait, Micah, you tell me you didn't watch AEW Dynamite live on Wednesday night. You didn't see that.
I haven't caught it. I caught the gist of it, but I
Was
will
there-
save my thoughts for the Swerve Page feud, I guess, for All Out whenever we get to that, because there's
Feud
a
of the
lot
year.
of yeah, if you can call it that. I don't even know what the term would be. There's a lot of people online spreading misinformation, not about the election, but instead about what this Swerve Page feud is and has become, just because it had one good angle, and God forbid you place importance in a bracelet. So,
well,
but anyways, Mariah May, Tony Storm had a match here at All In. Powerbomb ring mat was a really nasty spot. Even if it was a little clunky in cooperation, I still thought it was pretty brutal. Now, Ryan.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Why did she slap her own mom?
I guess to get heat. I mean, they were cheering her, so she had to turn the crowd on her somehow, Micah.
Well, yeah,
You've
but
never slapped your mom?
well, no, and I couldn't right now if I wanted to.
Yeah,
But
I don't know, man.
it just,
It wasn't
I don't
necessary.
know.
It wasn't
Yeah.
needed. It wasn't necessary. Yeah, I get you.
And like, if she's a heel, that's fine, but her mom was still cheering her. Like, it just, I don't know. And it wasn't like, oh my God, the dastardly heel doesn't even care about her own family. Like, it was just weird. Everybody else was booing her and her family was cheering her. And like, then her mom played no part in the rest of the match. I thought maybe that's where they were leading, but
Or she buried her head in Tony Storm's bosom. You didn't see that later.
I did see that.
Okay. I thought you fast forward and missed that.
No, that was just the London ladder match and potentially Chris Jericho match. But
hey, yeah, bro, the Tony Mariah, this is where I started noticing a lot of empty seats. They sold a lot of tickets, but it was a lot of empty seats in this building.
Yeah,
stadium,
well, I saw some pictures from like the other angle that kind of showed a lot of tarps, which I mean, it is what it is. To me, they still put 50,000 in an arena, so
yeah.
That's better than most of what they've been doing. That's still, I'm pretty sure, higher than any WCW gate. So I mean, it's not then to slouch at, but
hold up now. No, Collision in Korea. We're gonna skip Collision in Korea. Come on now.
I can't count participants that were held at gunpoint on whether they were there or not.
Okay.
So, anyways, yeah, the empty seats, like you could kind of see it in the upper decks, but I don't know. Overall, the match, I thought it was solid. It's probably Toni Storm's best match since her turn, because to me, her match quality has kind of went down some. However, pile driver on the steel steps.
Yes, I had that wrote down. Yeah, unnecessary. I've learned to come to peace with all the no selling in AEW shows because I do not like it, but I mean it's going to be a part of the show whether I like it or not.
Yeah, I don't know. It just, there's a million ways to bust someone open other than potentially paralyzing them, or a spot that has paralyzed people in the past, when they then have to be up in a spot in 2 minutes. You know what I mean? She could have just ran her head into the turnbuckle post, and that would have been fine.
That would have been just fine. They kicked out a lot of stuff in this match.
Yeah, and that was like my main gripe with it. Even though I thought it was good to me, like I still enjoyed it, and I think Mariah May is she's the upper half of maybe their division. I don't think she's the best worker, but she's at least got a personality. And I think she's a good seller, because even after that pile driver, like you could hear her crying on the hot mic, but still it was like she got up 2 minutes later for something in the ring. It's just ridiculous to me.
Yeah, and the people making fun of the Punk Drew bracelet thing online are the same people that praised the Mariah May Toni Storm feud when they're feuding over a shoe. Is that right? Am I missing something?
Not entirely, but that was part of it. She came out with it.
Okay, well there you go. Hypocrites, fickle.
Yeah, and we'll get to the Ospreay MJF match, but like I said, I enjoyed it. I had a couple nitpicks. I don't like that Toni took 2 finishers and she was done. Mariah took 3 and she was still kicking.
Yeah.
It's not an all-time classic, but it was what I thought was an okay start to the show. And it's refreshing to see somebody else at the top.
Yeah, I agree. Serviceable, but then again, shouldn't the Women's World Championship be later on in the show?
It's a good point, but we got to make room for Mercedes, right?
Oh, yeah, well, that's probably in the contract. Mercedes is going to be the marquee name on the women's marquee, that is.
Well, marquee is debatable, but following that was for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. FTR versus the Young Bucks versus the Acclaimed.
Okay, all right. Why was FTR and the Acclaimed both wearing pink, Micah? It made this very hard to follow it.
Yeah.
Feel like they were on the same team.
Well, FTR are Bret Hart cosplayers. Not cosplayers, but they love Bret Hart. And I genuinely like FTR. The booking has failed them.
Oh, big time.
And
it feels like they've been brought into AEW to feud with the Young Bucks, because that's the only time they ever get spotlighted when they're feuding with the Young Bucks. Is it just me?
No. That's the same thing I think. They were the hottest team in the company, because I remember the Young Bucks coming out on stage challenging, I believe it was Swerve and Keith Lee maybe, and they were getting FTR chanted out of the building, and it took them another year to put the belts on FTR after they already lost the other 3 that they were holding.
Oh, of course. And then they had those great matches with the Briscoes, and nobody saw them because they were in ROH.
Yeah. So I really genuinely like FTR. I may throw the jab about the Bret Hart stuff, but they're my favorite tag team in AEW, but I don't have a reason to care about them because of the way they've been booked. And I've seen them versus the Acclaimed, what feels like 8 million times. I've seen them versus the Bucks, what feels like 8 million times. And them versus the Bucks has gotten worse every other time we've seen it.
Yeah, it's lost its luster.
And so what is pulling me to see this match? Well, I was hoping the Young Bucks would lose the titles, considering that they're not going to be there all the time because of the way that they've rigged their contract. And guess who wins? The Young Bucks.
Who's that? Oh, really? And then who made an appearance at the end, Micah? Did you know who these guys were? Let me start by asking that. Did you know who these guys were?
I did. I know of them, but I did write on my notes, tell me about them, because I don't know anything about them. I just know of them.
Okay, let me ask this. If you had the volume turned down and these guys showed up on screen like they did, would you have known who they were?
Yes, but only because of the scarf.
Okay, fill me in. What is that? What does the scarf signify?
Oh no, the scarf said grizzled young vets.
Oh, okay. All right, fair point. Fair point.
So, who are these guys? What have you seen of them? Do you like them? I know you're probably more familiar with them than I am.
They're a good team. I guess they're a good addition, but bro, this tag division is down bad right now. It just feels like there's only 3 teams in the division, so the Grizzly Young Vets are a welcome addition. They need to bring in more maximum male models. They need to get those guys on the show. Maybe some more private party. They need a spotlight, but I didn't like this match. I thought it was boring. I thought it was very boring. It was just paint by the numbers. Proud woke up when Max started hitting the finishers with all the other team members. I don't remember that part.
It's been a while, and I wasn't really locked in on this one.
I feel it, yeah.
I mean, it just, like you said, it was paint by the numbers. People don't have a reason to care about FTR. The Acclaimed have shot themselves in the foot, or Max Caster has at least, and I know what the Bucks are going to do. It was group spots, just like every match they have, and there's so many of them. And also, the thing that really disgusted me about this match was the finish.
Okay, enlighten me.
So, they hit Dax with the belt shot.
Yeah.
And then they pin him. Good, right? That good finish. Heels get heat. No, not good enough.
Oh, okay. What else happened?
Dax has to kick out.
No.
Then get hit with the Bucks finisher so they can put that over, and then they go home.
What was the point of the belt shot then?
I don't know.
Okay. All right. Well, that surely was the end of FTR's pain for that night, right, Micah? They didn't take any more of punishment, did they?
Nope. Because then the grizzled young vets just have to come in there and beat them up too. Because piss in their mouth while they're down there.
Oh, really? Okay. All right. So, FTR just goes to the back of the line.
Yep.
And I guess the grizzled young vets going to feud with the young vets, right?
Well, first they've got to get through this feud with FTR that absolutely nobody will care about. They made the trios division, and nobody cares about it. And all it did was make the tag team worse. When AEW had like the best tag team division in years, a couple years ago, and now everything feels cold unless it's like the main event scene or I guess the main event, or no, like the mid-card women's scene feels hotter than the main stuff typically.
It can't get any hotter than burning down somebody's house, Mike.
Oh, well, you got me there. So, any final thoughts on the tag division and they chanted CM Punk, so that's always a nice cherry on top.
Not the first time they're going to be chanting CM Punk, but we'll get to that later. Yeah, man, I just thought it was a boring match, and I don't know, I was half paying attention.
Yeah. So, was it after this that the Jericho match was in there? I could not pain myself.
Yeah, I think you mixed up the order here. I don't know if maybe I'm wrong, but I had the Jericho match before the tag match.
Okay. It probably was. Yeah, because I have a double space in here where I think I was going to start typing. And then I probably I don't know, threw up in my mouth or something. It was like, I'm not suffering through this. Did anything interesting? I know Hook won and Taz did something. And yeah.
Big Bill's over. Crowd loved him.
Figures.
Hook is in the same spot he was 2 years ago. I don't know if you remember last year, Micah, but Hook was in a very prominent match on the pre-show last year. And guess what title he was competing for, Micah?
Would that perhaps be the FTW title?
Oh, you'd be correct there, sir. You'd be very correct. And now he's in the same spot. He pretended like his eye was damaged throughout this whole match. And then a little before the ending of the match, he revealed that he can, in fact, see Micah, which, cool. But why would you pretend like you can't see while taking on 3 guys in the whole match? And when was he pretending that he couldn't see because he wrestled with an eye patch for the last 2 weeks. So did he do that on purpose, or what's going on here?
Yeah, it was all a ruse to fool Jericho.
So you purposely fight a guy with one eye. Got it.
Yeah.
Should have been on the 0 hour, and Taz putting in the Taz mission. It did not look like a good Taz mission, but the crowd loved it, and I like Taz. We'll give it a pass.
It's insane to me that they put that on the main card. Well, it's not insane because I know Chris Jericho was like, "Oh, put me on there," but they put that on the main show when they could have put. And listen, I saw somebody earlier on Twitter praise Will Washington for his booking of this feud.
Come on now.
But why was Willow versus Statlander not on the main card? And I didn't watch the match, and I know it wasn't good, but they put Willow Nightingale and Tomohiro Ishii versus Chris Statlander and Stokely Hathaway. Why involve the other two? The feud is between Statlander and Nightingale. You could have just made them have a match, put it on the main card, have Statlander or Stokely cheat, and guess what? You can run it back in 2 weeks at All Out, where it's Stokely's banned from the arena, and that you can give it some other stipulation if you really feel like it. But no, let's include this random Japanese guy that nobody cares about, and a guy who's just a manager.
So I believe that Ishii is on excursion in America because that was the trade that they got in exchange for Takeshita, one of the best wrestlers they have on the
Jesus
roster.
Christ, what kind of trade is that?
That was a terrible trade. That was a one-way trade. Please, you ask me. But yeah, he was competing in the G1, Takeshita was, and they got Ishii for the whole summer. So you had to justify that big number that big check that Tony was writing Ishii. So you had to get him on the show somehow, Mike. Everybody got on the show. Popcorn vendor got on the show.
We'll give you we'll give you SGA, and in return, I want you to give us Rajon Rondo.
Talon Horton Tucker. You get
I mean, and a second round draft pick.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know, man. You know what? No. You know what should have been on the main show? Jamie Hayter returning. One of the biggest women's stars.
Absolutely. I forgot to mention it because it was on the pre-show.
Yeah, coming out dressed like Becky Lynch. You see that?
She did look like Becky Lynch.
She did. Even the walk kind of looked like Becky. I don't know. I thought she crossed the line there for a sec, man.
Well, speaking of crossing the line, the next match was the Casino Gauntlet match for a shot at the AEW World Championship. And I guess the big news coming out of this was the return of Nigel McGuinness or Desmond Wolfe.
No Ricochet shout out, huh?
Oh, we'll get there. But come on, man. Desmond Wolfe?
I did like that. He looked in great shape. Yeah, you know what? I enjoyed this match. I'm a sucker for the Rumble concept. And that's basically what this is, except there's no downtime in this match because you can win the match at any point. So I do like the concept. Maybe they use it a little too much for my liking because I believe it's the third time that they've used the Casino Gauntlet stipulation this year. But I thought it was fun, man. I had a good time.
Oh, I hate it. I mean, it's one of those things, like you said, you just kind of pop for it in nostalgia. But the only thing I didn't like is, and maybe I just missed it, I wish they would run down the rules like on one of those like sheets before. Because the people started getting out of the ring and I was like, okay, are they not out? Or
what? You fed shield. You don't know how to use Google.
Oh God, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Nah, man, it would have helped if we would have got some clarity on the rules here.
Yeah. So, but I did enjoy Nigel. I thought he was in good shape. He was a little rusty, but he had some cool moves, and the people really popped for it. And he spawned the reunion of Oasis.
I saw that, man. I thought that was like a Photoshop, but yeah, it looks like that was a real quote.
Oh no, that was fake.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, you got. No, it was fake.
You worked me, man. Come on.
So, I mean, they really are getting back together, but Nigel even got because he retweeted it, and it was one of those, like, you know how there's, like, man. NBA Centel or whatever?
Yeah, man, come on.
Yeah, they basically made one of those for WWE, and I think they got him.
Yeah, got me too, man.
But it was a really good return. I enjoyed Nigel. And now, I will say, weirdly enough, we're getting to Mr. Rick O'Shea. Jeff Jarrett got a huge pop.
Oh, it's weird because online he's been establishing himself as a babyface. And people were cheering for him to win the Owen. So I'm not surprised by the reaction they got in this match. Nigel got a big reaction. Jarrett got a really, really big reaction as well.
Now, I will say, I don't know.
You enjoyed him hitting the cowboy with the guitar, Hangman.
I did very much.
I did too. I replayed.
I don't know, man. Jarrett is this weird figure where it's like when I watch him in the 90s, I'm like, I don't know. I watch him in the 2000s, I'm like, maybe, I don't know. But now it's like full circle and I like him again. And I kind of wish he was used more.
It's because it reminds you of a better time in professional wrestling.
Yeah, you are probably right about that.
Yeah, and he throws the best punch in the whole business, really.
He does. And I mean, it's no shocker considering, when he came up and how people come up now. But as you mentioned earlier, Ricochet has now became elite. Ryan, are you gonna? I know you're a Fed shill. Are you gonna miss Ricochet over there in Connecticut?
I like Ricochet. I hope he does well over here. I do not have high hopes for him to be booked well over here because he wasn't on Dynamite on Wednesday and he jobbed out in his first night. So just the way you want to debut a hot signing, right, Micah?
That's what I was shocked he lost.
Were you really? I expected Hangman to win, honestly.
I did expect Hangman to win, but I thought, well, if Hangman doesn't win, it's definitely going to be Ricochet. And Christian pulling double duty at 50 years old and then coming in and winning this was not at all what I expected. Now, I don't hate it, but
it's hilarious.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that.
What do you think about Ricochet?
I think he fits better in AEW, but how can I say this? In life, you got millionaires and you got billionaires and you got the working class citizens like us. And in wrestling, you got your main eventers and you got your mid-card guys. And I just don't think I can see Ricochet as a world champion just because his mic skills are not there. And, but that's a lot of the guys in AEW. And for the most part, all you have to be here is a good wrestler. And while that doesn't do anything for me, they've got 8 million of those guys, and those guys are over. So I guess if it works, but yeah,
we'll see. The chains are off now, Micah. No excuses.
Can he put the mask back on as Prince Puma? Now I'd pop for that.
You know what? That's not a bad. I wouldn't hate that. I wouldn't hate that at all. Well, but they got they got hologram. Just whoever's under the hologram mask, just move Ricochet into that role.
Yeah, and give it act like you don't know who it is, even though he has a very noticeable shoulder tat.
Just Sin Cara him, huh?
Yeah, I'd be cool with it. Give him a manager. That's all he needs.
Okay, all right, Conan.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not hating it.
Yeah. Yeah, Odyssey Jones up in there.
Whoa. Touchy situation.
I'll just say it. Come on.
I had to our rookie of the year. I had to scrub that of the
of
the tapes.
You had to benoit that, huh?
Yeah. Who?
Oh, I don't know. I thought you said Braun Breaker was rookie of the year, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He was pretty good.
Yeah.
But other than that, for this match, I thought Nigel getting speared by Christian was the Paul Heyman solo turn moment. I really did enjoy that. I thought it was good.
Yeah. And, the crowd was very flat for that finish, but I enjoy Christian. So, we'll give it a pass. And, man, if your work rate, Christian is going to get his, and find somebody that's going to love you like Tony Khan loves Christian, because he uses him a lot.
Yeah. And it's kind of shocking because he doesn't really fit the bill in AEW of I guess what they typically look for, but I don't know. Like you said, I enjoy it, and I enjoy him more than most people there. So honestly, I don't even care if it's booked bad. I'd just rather him be on TV than some of the other guys.
Yeah, you're right. I agree.
So now we'll move to probably one of the more anticipated matches, if not the most anticipated match on this card. We got Will Ospreay versus MJF for the AEW International / All-American Championship.
Yeah. MAGA JF versus Will Ospreay.
So, the Assassin's Creed entrance for Will Ospreay.
I forgot. Yeah, that did happen.
Lame.
Yeah. But Fed Shield, he's an Assassin's Creed mark. You don't understand the significance. He's the aerial assassin. So it's a good tie-in, Fed Shield.
It was an ad for the game. That
nobody's gonna play. Who plays Assassin's Creed anymore? Come on.
Well, good point. But I'm somewhat interested in this Japan themed one, or Japanese themed one, I should say. But, dude, I can't ever hear anything about WWE ads ever. This was like their marquee match to me on the show. I don't care about Bryan Danielson versus Swerve. This to me was what people wanted to see. And they literally ran a 3/4 of the promo advertising the new game.
I don't think it would have been as bad if you didn't have the voiceover. The voiceover was the protagonist from Assassin's Creed 3. Did you catch that?
Yeah.
Which is a good thing.
Then when he comes out, they had those big banners, and it was releases on September 28th. Like, what? Come on, man.
Yeah.
You can't hate on one thing and be like, oh, WWE, they got too many ads. Like, sure, whatever. They take a long time to get to the next match. I'll give you that. But this was to me the equivalent of the Mountain Dew Pitch Black match. Was there really much of a difference?
I don't think so. It was, and it lasted forever too. I feel like it was 7-8 minutes.
Yeah. That would have been one thing too if it was 30 seconds and he just came out in an Assassin's Creed themed gear or whatever.
Yeah.
That would have been cool. Or even if he was announced by the Assassin's Creed guy. And then they ran a little ad in the corner that was Assassin's Creed, release it. But nah, dude, there was clips of the game in his hype promo before the match. Come on.
Yeah. If you would just ran an ad for Assassin's Creed, that would have been one thing. You couldn't have aired that before the match and then just had a normal entrance. But
yeah,
Ospreay loves Assassin's Creed, Micah. Don't be a Fed Shield. He loves Assassin's Creed.
Well, I love NCAA football, but I'm just gonna have a promo package before I come into work tomorrow.
What hold up now. If they give you a big bag, you're not gonna promote college football 25?
Maybe.
All right.
But anyways, we're getting to the actual match. As you said earlier, with the no selling, it becomes a moot point at this point. But I feel like you have to mention it.
Yeah.
Ospreay gets hit with a tombstone on the outside, and he's back up 2 minutes later.
I remember when that almost killed Jake the Snake Roberts when Undertaker did that to him at WrestleMania. Yep. Almost killed him, man. He was never seen from again. That was last time you seen Jake in 5 years after that. That's how it should be. You don't take a tombstone and then right back up, ready to go. You got your finisher stored, and you hit some more.
And that's probably my biggest gripe with Ospreay is just the no selling. And I thought they had an excellent first match. It was long, but it was like it kept up good pace throughout most of it. The no selling wasn't just completely over the top to me, but it just really starts to become whatever he is doing is senseless. It takes forever to set up, and then, or it's like he gets hit with a meteor, and then he's back up with another meteor. Like, it's not anime.
I was just about to say that, and he has a super duper special move like he did, like his anime, Tiger Driver 97. That's a super duper finisher, Mike. Was that needed? And another thing that I do not like about Ospreay, the constant finisher. And then he'll pick a guy up and then hit one more finisher. Like, you could have just pinned him on the first finisher. What are you doing? Pin him. What are you doing? Hit him with a brain buster. That ain't good enough. About to hit him with a top rope tornado DDT back to back. And then, kick out a dude.
And it just kills the spot. If you hit him with the first finisher, then he kicks out. Oh, okay, cool. But now you've hit him with like 5 back-to-back, like world-ending moves, and he kicks out, and it's just not believable. No. And it like gets away from I'm trying to win. Like, that's the thing. There's no like, I'm gonna make a pin real quick because hopefully I got him. It's like I'm just gonna hit him with the might of God until he just doesn't kick out.
And it's just there's no build up. It's just a move. And then after that move, it's another move. Oh, it's a big move this time. Bigger move. Big move. And then the crowd's just sitting there going, oh. And then that constitutes a good match nowadays, Micah. You make the crowd go, oh.
Or sing. They love to sing.
Oh, yeah, singing too. Yeah.
So, I don't know. I like Ospreay. Like, I want to like him, but it's just if it's a big match like this that goes 20 some odd minutes, it just devolves into this. Or like, I mean, dude, he has like a concrete neck apparently. Not only did he take the aforementioned tombstone on the outside, he took a pile driver on the inside of the ring, and then a sunset flip onto the apron.
Yep.
And I don't know if anybody's ever told you this, Ryan, but that's the hardest part of the ring.
Oh, really?
I've heard.
Okay. All right. I don't know. Write that down. That's news to me. All right.
So I don't get it, man. And to me, this was the problem with having that hour-long match first. I think they gave the people too much.
Way too much.
And then there wasn't really anything to come back and see. I don't think this match was drastically different than the other one, but it was 25 minutes shorter and ended up kind of making MJF to me look weaker considering he got beat with all this and he didn't get beat by anything with the last one. And I got a real big gripe with the Tiger Driver because the whole thing has been built around this. About not using it and not wanting to hurt anybody. The guy he hit it with is in the main event for the world title 3 matches later. Danielson was gone for 3 weeks.
Well, if you watched the product, Micah, you would see that Danielson gave Will the permission to use the finisher. See, that's good storytelling. That's real rats, brother.
But is it dangerous then?
No, bro. It was MJF that used the diamond ring to. Didn't he cheat to beat Will the last time they faced each other? So that's good. He can cheat to beat Will, but Will can't shoot to his level. He can't hit him with his super duper finisher. You don't understand.
He's got the 3 charged finishers.
Yeah. And you know what, Garcia? Are we still doing this? Are we still trying with Garcia? Bro, there was no reason to use Garcia in this spot. You don't need Garcia to help out Will when Will is super over already. Why was Garcia anywhere near this match? He didn't need to be there. He shouldn't have been there. I don't want to see Garcia and MJF feud, but that's where we're going here. I feel like they killed the MJF character before the MJF new gimmick that he has with the All-American, kind of a pseudo-ish political gimmick, JBL-ish. They killed it all by beating him in this match. It was starting to get legs.
Yep.
This is the perfect time to do that gimmick.
Exactly. It's right before an election. I mean, it might be a hot topic and people don't like it, but
I thought it was interesting and I thought it had legs and I think that could have went somewhere, but no, we're going to kill it dead by dropping him on his head and having him feud with the charisma vacuum that is Daniel Garcia. So, congrats.
And it's a different MJF, and I'm sure you saw the memes. It's a different MJF that comes out and like feuds with Ricochet, and he's like, well, Samantha won't be the only one announcing names tonight, or what? I mean, you know how he is. He's going to make the subtle digs, and but it's something different.
Yeah.
And people were ready to hate on it because it was like, they thought it was like racist or whatever. And they already get pissed off about how he announces Takeshita's name or whatever.
Oh, God. Really?
So
we kill it dead, huh?
Yeah. And I don't know. I wasn't as thrilled with this one. I thought that shooting star press where MJF was draped on the rope was interesting to see, but I genuinely did not enjoy this match, and I really hope that I would because I like both guys, but this is why you have the 25-minute match first and it goes to a 30-minute draw, and then you have the hour match the second time.
Yeah.
You gave them everything.
You gave them everything, and they hit everything. Everything.
And in closing, I had one revelation whenever this all took place. Do you remember was it the year 2000? You'll remember better than I did. Whenever they tried to like make Rikishi a main event talent.
Yeah. They had him hit Steve Austin with a car, and he got new theme music, and he had some feuds with The Rock. Yeah, I remember that.
Even though he had already been doing all that dancing before.
Yeah, comedy guy.
Isn't that kind of Daniel Garcia?
Well, to be fair, Rikishi was over as that dancing guy. I don't know if Garcia's on that level, but yeah, I get what you're saying. To that audience, yeah, you can make that comparison.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, that Too Cool theme was absolute heat.
Oh, heck yeah, bro. When they turned the lights down and they put the sunglasses on, that was a good time.
I mean, so it was over, but yeah, you don't buy Rikishi as a legit main event guy because he's been dancing, and it's the same with Garcia. And it ain't even been that long. It's been like 2 months ago he was dancing.
Well, we don't never forget. He still does it, so he doesn't want us to forget.
Yeah. But speaking of forgettable things.
Oh, my.
Next up for the AEW TBS Championship, Mercedes Moné versus Britt Baker DMD. First off, wait, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say this is it for Britt, man. This is the last chance. I don't think we see much DMD after this.
I said my notes. halfway through, I think this might be one of the worst matches I've ever seen in my life.
No, come on now. What? You wrote that?
I did. And then I followed it up, and you've probably seen the meme. I said, why nobody give up? Nobody cared. Like nobody in the crowd cared at all.
No, crowd was dead. Britt looks like she's moving in molasses. Crowd woke up when they did that reverse body slam. Well, scoop slam. They did reverse scoop slam from the second row. I don't know if you've seen that, Mike. They woke up then, but it wasn't enough to wake me up because I was, this is it for Britt. I think, her backstage antics, her supposed politicking, and her cheating, allegedly cheating on Adam Cole. I think this is it for her. She's probably not a favorite backstage anymore. Plenty of girls have come in and surpassed her. And it's pretty ironic that she made fun of Thunder Rosa when she was hurt for not coming to any of the shows. And now she got hurt. She hurt her back, and she has been a shell of her former self. It's kind of ironic.
Yeah. I mean,
you reap what you sow. You reap what you sow.
Everything you said was true, other than the cheating allegations.
Okay.
Because we're not sure. But,
okay.
I mean, this went 17 minutes. This was the marquee match for her.
Garbage.
And, real bad. And I ain't been the biggest fan of Mercedes either, but I've seen that she can at least have a decent match with Stephanie Vacour. So...
Yeah,
I don't know, man. It was different when Britt was like the talent of the division, but I even thought Thunder Rosa was a better worker than her. And now you've got Jamie Hayter and Mercedes and Willow, Statlander. I'd rather see Deonna Purrazzo. Like, there's a bunch of women. Britt has the charisma, but I mean, as you say, that bell's got to ring eventually.
Bro, it reminds me of when Ronda Rousey first took off. I don't know if you were following MMA back then, but I was a casual. But Ronda Rousey was killing people in Strike Force, and then they brought the women's division to the UFC, and she just steamrolled all these girls, but all those girls didn't have a lot of talent. And the UFC made sure they propped her up as a big star, and then when more talent started to come into the division, she got exposed. And then quickly you were like, wow, Ronda Rousey's kind of buzzed. And she was never the same after she got exposed. Yeah. I think this is what happened with Britt right now.
And I wasn't watching MMA at the time, but what I have heard about it draws parallels because you've never really heard anything good about Ronda Rousey in terms of like her being a locker room person. And a lot of people, once she lost, got that like crybaby persona from her.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't know that Britt, she don't have the online fan base anymore either. And with AEW, that's a big deal.
That's with Rousey too. She don't have the online fan base she used to have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, other than that, I wrote, nothing Britt does looks like it hits. All of her moves look discombobulated, and she doesn't exactly appear to be helping Mercedes at all. And the finish felt extremely flat, and nobody really reacted. And not in a like, oh, Mercedes wins, and we knew that was going to happen kind of way, but in more of a, what did I just see?
Yeah. Yeah. I hit the bathroom during this match. So.
You didn't miss anything. Not a thing.
Yeah.
Real bad. And like you said, I would not be surprised at all if this is the last time we see Britt Baker. And unless she can drastically improve in the ring, and if all the talk behind the scenes is untrue, I just don't really see a situation where she comes in. But I do have to ask you, Ryan, do you think WWE makes the call if she's released?
Oh boy, I think you have to make the call, but she has to spend some time at NXT. I don't think she's a plug and play into the main roster. I just don't see that.
I agree. I don't. She's definitely not the worker that Julia is, and just the clips that I've seen from Julia, and they even sent her to NXT, which I know she has to learn the way the TV works in WWE, but like, yeah, man, I don't know. And the thing is too, Britt is older than Mercedes. She's 33.
But Micah, she told me she grew up watching Mercedes on TV. Mercedes gave her hope that she could wrestle. You didn't see that promo?
I did forget about that. That
doesn't
make any sense.
I don't know. It didn't make any sense.
So, yeah, that happened. And another thing that happened was Jack Perry versus Darby Allin for the TNT Championship in a coffin match.
Yeah, their time got cut.
Oh, is that what happened? Or is that what went around?
Yeah, supposedly there's a curfew on Wembley Stadium for some reason. I don't know. I don't know what the Brits got going on over there, but there's a curfew on Wembley Stadium. And they were running a little late, so the time got cut on one particular match, and this was the match. When it should have been the match prior, but I digress.
Yeah, well, that couldn't happen. Can you imagine if that match got shortened to like 10 minutes? It probably would have been like way better thought of.
I still probably would have stunk. Let's be honest.
Oh, I mean, I'm sure, but they would have gotten to a lot less. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, this went 10 minutes, it says on Wikipedia. And just a couple thoughts.
Yeah, Jungle Boy, go ahead and let that go. Let that CM Punk stuff go. It's over. Let it go.
Put the fries in the bag.
It's over.
What exactly are you referring to? Just the whole scapegoat gimmick, or
that and the glass? Come on, bro. It's over. What are we doing here? He's off to bigger and better things. He's not worried about you guys.
That was also my first point. Just completely unnecessary, breaking the fourth wall. That's going to pop the loud minority online that only the insiders of insiders know, and then that brings in the CM Punk chants, and then that brings in the CM Punk chants, and it does zero for anybody in this match.
Well, it popped the boys, so it did what it needed to do, I guess.
And don't you think that kind of puts Darby in a weird situation too, considering that like he was, as far as I know, friends with Punk? Like,
yeah, that is a little weird.
The only other thing I wrote down was, once again, the Elite and their clique get themselves over instead of anybody else by doing absolutely nothing for anybody else. Darby gets the absolute dog piss beat out of him, tied down, just so then Jack Perry can look like someone he's not. And then we get Sting. And I mean, it's cool to see Sting, but like, what ultimately did this match accomplish? Is Jack Perry any more over than he was before?
Not really. They kind of took Jungle Boy's heat back when they had Sting come in and beat them all up.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know what this accomplished. They got Sting on the card. Sting keeps on cashing checks.
Yeah. It was cool to see him.
He still looks like Darby's dad, though. Darby's just Sting's little buddy. He had to save his little buddy.
They should just bring Jeff Hardy back and have him do the Sting thing now.
Whoa, come on now. Are we forgiving Jeff Hardy?
Well, I think that's the best value you can get out of Jeff Hardy in 2024. And I say that as a big Jeff Hardy fan.
Well, how's he getting to the show? Are we trusting Jeff Hardy to get to the show?
Darby is his designated driver.
Okay, all right. He's straight edge, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Yeah, or you could just fly him out private. Tony Khan do that.
Or that. Well, don't make him drive to another airport. We got lawsuits ensuing about that.
Well, yeah, this match happened though.
Yeah. And the only other thing I want to say, and again, it's not my money, I don't care, but did you notice they used the Metallica song for Sting's run-in?
Oh yeah, yeah, of course.
Which is cool, but like for like 30 seconds, you probably spent like 50 grand or something. I mean, I don't really know how much it was. I know Final Countdown was like 200 grand. So
yeah, I'm a little torn because it is cool to have licensed music, Micah, but if we were to get a streaming deal, and I'm saying we work for AEW, if they were to get a streaming deal and have all their pay-per-views and all their weekly shows on a streaming platform, all this music is gonna get dubbed over. Am I wrong?
100% sure. Unless
You
they
don't.
like the rights to it.
I don't think that's how that works, though. I think it's just you have to because when you go back and watch all the old stuff on Peacock on WWE Network, all the songs, the real songs that they used, they're all dubbed over. You can't hear them anymore.
I don't know. Like, I know they did it for ECW because they didn't pay for it originally. And WCW, they just kind of acquired the tape. So, but in there, I'm sure there's somebody in old WWE that has licensed music, right? Like in the Attitude Era?
But like the Hollywood Hogan, he would use Voodoo Child. You can't use that. It's dubbed over. Sandman, when he made his entrance on ECW One Night Stand 05, he came out to enter Sandman at the time. It's dubbed over now. You can't hear it. So I don't think any licensed music is on the network or the Peacock.
Yeah, I don't know. That is interesting. And I like licensed music as well because I think it helps get somebody over. But for a run-in, for a guy who's retired and isn't going to be on the show, and they made a theme song for, why not just play that one and save the money?
I don't know, man. It's weird. It's very weird. Just setting up for failure and future production issues. I don't know. It's something. It's something.
I mean, if I had $1 billion, I'm sure I'd spend a lot of money on some stupid things too. But that just feels like I don't know. I don't know. But anyways, we have arrived at the main event. Swerve Strickland versus Bryan Danielson for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship.
Oh, I see what they were going for here. I see it. I'll overlook some no selling and finisher kick out spam. Because Daniel Bryan is one of my top 3 guys all time that I grew up watching. But I don't think they stuck the landing here, Micah. What about you?
I honestly thought it was a great match.
Okay.
Couple things I would have changed, but I really enjoyed it, top to bottom.
I could have done without Swerve leaning into being a heel too, because he was back being a babyface on Wednesday. But he's trying to cripple Daniel Bryan in front of his wife and kids.
Yeah. That was my biggest problem with this and this entire Swerve run. And it's also my problem with the Damian Priest world title run from a couple months ago because it's one and the same.
Okay.
You really, as a fan, my voice is starting to go out. You really, as a fan, couldn't hardly get behind somebody. You couldn't get behind Priest or Swerve because they're constant heel versus babyface and playing against whatever is convenient for the time. And 1 week, Swerve is a babyface. The next week, he's dastardly heel, leaving Wheeler Yuta bloody and beating up Bryan Danielson. So it just doesn't make sense. And
stalking Hangman Page's pregnant wife, too. I don't know if you caught that. He said he did that.
So, like, how can you cheer for that guy? And then it's like, well, he's facing, who did he face at the last pay-per-view?
Will Ospreay.
Yeah. So he's facing Will. So then he's kind of a heel. But then there was somebody else he fought that was like a straight up heel.
Christian.
Yeah. So then he fought Christian, who's a straight up heel. So it's just back and forth booking, I think, that really hurt this. Yeah,
I was going to say inconsistent booking. I don't care for a guy when he was just a dastardly heel last week. It just makes, I don't know. It makes his matches kind of weird to cheer.
Yeah.
Or boo, because you don't know what are you supposed to do here? Am I supposed to cheer him that he's kicking Daniel Bryan's head in front of his wife and child, and supposed to boo this? Because I really like that dance he does. Yep. I don't know. I'm conflicted.
And I love
that dance.
That was the first thing I wrote, was like, with the presentation. I thought Danielson's presentation when he came out was amazing. Swerve's I thought was really good. But he's got the chant that everybody chimes in on with Swerve's house, but then you're supposed to boo him because he's making those kids cry. Like, there's no direct. And I know people are like, oh, well, you just want to be spoon-fed because you're a fed shill. I'm sorry. We got to, like, circle it in big red letters and make sure. Like, no, but you're a good guy or you're a bad guy. And if you're over enough, you can be in between. But it was Swerve's first world title run. I don't think the in-between role was for him yet.
I don't understand why Hangman just wasn't in Daniel Bryan's spot here either. Because what did this accomplish exactly? Bryan is about to retire in 2-3 months, right?
I guess.
Oh, and we were going to have Hangman versus Swerve anyways, so why didn't we just have it here on the biggest stage possible? You had your supposedly best feud of the year. Shouldn't it culminate here and All In?
Yeah. You would think.
Nah.
So, yeah, I mean, that was the big gripe to me. Not a huge deal, but when Danielson ended up blading for the match, it was way off on the location.
Yeah. He got dropped on top of his head, and he had blood on his forehead.
And I mean, it was an inventive spot, but like, it just didn't make any sense.
And then, guess what, Micah? He kicked out at 2.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely.
You know what? A little nitpick too I got, and then I'll let you wrap it up. But did Swerve really just need to brush off the Psycho knee? That didn't need to happen. That wasn't needed.
I didn't hate it because it's the main event for the World Championship, and it's 2 guys who are the apparent top guys in the company if they're fighting for the world title. It bothers me whenever it's Kyle Fletcher versus MJF.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Yeah, up and down the card though.
Well, see, that's the problem. Like, it becomes, and this kind of ties into something that we'll get to on our Bash in Berlin review. If you do something once on the show and it's left for the top guys, good. If it's every single person doing it, then it just seems phony. And that's kind of what the Swerve thing, I'm sure, felt like. Like, that's the way you felt, but I thought it was cool. But I can't blame you for feeling that way.
So 6 or 7 of the same type of spots throughout the night. It's like you see one car crash, like, oh, hey, look at that car crash. And then you drive down the interstate, you see another car crash. Oh, wow, another car crash. Okay, you keep on driving, Micah. There's 3 more car crashes. I'm like, oh, okay, it's just another car crash. Just keep on driving. That's what it is.
So, other than that, I thought that the knee into I don't. It's been so long since I've watched this. I'm trying to like refresh myself off of what I wrote. I said the knee into the rolling move in the corner that Swerve attempted was a great counter. And I don't remember what that. Oh, I think Swerve was trying that thing where he's in the corner and rolls out, and then Danielson like hit him with the psycho knee.
That is exactly what happened, yeah.
Okay, that was really cool. I thought, and like the timing on it was perfect.
Yeah.
I really hate the fact that the doctor comes in to check Danielson every single match.
Yeah. Yeah, and Hangman interfering.
Yep.
He didn't even interfere. He just kind of walked out there. He was going to get the mail.
And I don't like, what did he accomplish?
Well, he made Swerve angry by the presence of him. I don't know. He burned his house down for it, though.
Oh, okay. That's grounds enough. Sorry,
Okay.
man. Can't get to your world title. I'm going to burn your house down.
Which, I don't know if we're ever going to talk about that, but that was something. They will bring it up at a later date.
Yeah. I think we will encapsulate the Swerve Page feud whenever we get All Out next week.
Okay, yeah, we'll dive deeper next week.
Yeah. But lastly, I personally would have preferred Swerve to tap or to pass out instead of tap out, which they said it was the first time that he tapped out. And again, that's another one of those things that if we didn't see it all the time, it would be cool, but nobody wants to lose clean anymore. And I think that would have helped Swerve kind of still stay in that upper echelon, which I still think he will. But the people,
it fell flat though. You should just pinned him. 1, 2, 3.
And like the people still popped at the end, but I think just if they would have got that like finality of like a 1, 2, 3, they would have went crazy. And
do you think AEW's constant need to have callbacks to big moments of particular wrestlers' career, that they wanted to do a callback to WrestleMania 30 here of him making Swerve tap out in the yes lock?
I don't know. It didn't cross my mind, to be honest with you. But then again, I didn't remember how WrestleMania 30 ended.
Oh man. Oh, I forgot you hated Daniel Bryan back then.
No, here we go. I remember him on the table lifting the things up, but like I don't remember the match hardly.
Oh man, come on. That's a good match.
You checked
out. You checked out, man.
No, I would be stoned if I said truly how I feel about Bryan Danielson.
Okay. I thought you meant you were getting high while you were watching.
No, I was like 11.
Oh, okay.
So good match, great match. The people there really ate it up, and I think that helps because the atmosphere of Wembley and the big stadium helps the entire show. I think they've wasted a couple years of Bryan Danielson's career.
There you go.
And yeah, I'm excited to see the run, though I don't expect it to be that long, and it should have happened like 2 years ago.
Yeah, maybe a little too late for my liking, but I'm a Daniel Bryan mark, so he's holding the world championship, so there's a lot more. There's such a little talent pool they can pick from to be world champion at this point that I would be happy with. And the fact they put it on Daniel Bryan, that's fine in my book. Maybe we can put it on Father Christian and he can, class this joint up.
I would also not hate that, but we'll see. I will give the Bryan Danielson run a chance. Overall, top to bottom, what do you rate All In? Personally, Ryan, I'm gonna give it a 6.8, maybe a 7. I could be talked into a 7. There were some things I liked. There was a lot of things that I didn't like. But if I didn't like it, I honestly just skipped it. So had I watched the Jericho match, probably would be lower.
If we're grading it on that scale, then this probably could have been a 10 out of 10 show for me if I just watch the main event. I think the main event and the Casino Gauntlet match were really good. So I give it about a 5.7. The rest was kind of, you could have been Dynamite matches.
Yeah. For the most part, absolutely. I mean, I enjoy Mariah May. God, it's getting late. I didn't enjoy the tag match. I enjoyed the Casino Battle Royale. I didn't enjoy Ospreay versus MJF. I didn't enjoy Britt versus Monet. Yeah. I didn't really enjoy Jack Perry versus Darby, but I really enjoyed the main event. And that's the last taste in your mouth. So that's what you remember. I go 6.5.
Okay. All right. That's fine. 5.5, 6.5.
So, but ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here. You may hear this in an iteration combined with Bash in Berlin. If you don't, then this will just be a solo episode where we just review All In and we'll get to Bash in Berlin at a later date. Regardless, thank you for tuning in. I know the consistency has been just really god-awful recently, but I promise we're trying. Check out Dead Threads, link in the bio. Other than that, make sure to follow us at Scoop Slam Pod, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, so you know when we're uploading again. And closing thoughts, I don't really think Bryan Danielson is as good as people say, and I think his matches are really repetitive. Thank you. Have a good night. Bye.